Hey everyone, I'm Lauren Scofield and I am Miss Montana 2016. I'm part of the Miss America organization and the Miss Montana Scholarship Program, which, just to clarify, is not and has never been associated with Donald Trump. Just thought I'd clarify that, as I get asked it a lot. But first of all, I just wanted to apologize that I can't be there with you guys today. I hope you have an amazing day at the Women in Gear event. I wish so bad I could be there, but I am currently in Eastern Montana at other Miss Montana events that I had previously scheduled. So I'm sorry, but thank you for allowing me to speak with you today. I wanted to be able to reach out and just kind of build a relationship, hopefully, and have you guys reach out to me after this and just to sort of give you a little inspiration for the beginning of your day before you start your awesome events today. So a little background about myself. I'm from Havre, grew up there, graduated from Havre High School, and then I attended Carroll College in Helena. So I graduated in May of 2016, so just this May, and my degree is in biochemistry, molecular biology, and my minor is in gender studies. So after my year as Miss Montana, I'll be applying to medical school, and I hope to specialize in obstetrics and gynecology. So I'm taking this my gap year as being Miss Montana. So that kind of leads me into why I did the pageant. So I think a lot of people do pageants for different reasons, but for me, the Miss Montana pageant was an experience and an opportunity for me to gain scholarships and to have a year of service as Miss Montana. So it was sort of an unexpected avenue for me to give back to my state in a way that I've never been able to. And I'll have the opportunity to travel through the whole state and talk to people all over the state about my personal platform of STEM. So I'm sure you all know what that is, science, technology, engineering, math, because I want to congratulate you for being at the Women in Gear STEM event today. It's so awesome that you're all there as women in STEM. I know that that can be a daunting thing as a biochem major, and as a woman, I was sometimes the only woman in some of my classes, some of my physics classes especially, and it was scary, but you know, I think I just used that and let it kind of fuel the fire within me to really step into STEM. So I hope that that is the same for you as women in STEM, and that you should always be absolutely 100% proud of yourselves for stepping into this. So during my year of service, like I said, I'll be talking about STEM, but I'll be traveling mostly to schools, and I'll be talking to a lot of elementary schoolers and middle schoolers about STEM and just kind of planting seeds of STEM within their heads at an early age. And also just talking about critical thinking and innovative thinking, just working on different problem-solving skills, which I know is something you guys will be working on at your workshops today and something that you're always working on as women in STEM. So, sorry, I know this isn't ideal. I'm on my computer, so I have to scroll down in my notes. I'm kind of a scatterbrain. But, so as I talked about a little bit earlier, I am sort of exhilarated and I guess almost addicted to stepping out of my comfort zone. Not like stepping out of my comfort zone and going skydiving, but stepping out of my comfort zone and just always trying new things. So that was an opportunity and that I had going into the Miss Montana program. It was an opportunity to seek this new adventure and to really step out of my comfort zone, which is something I challenge you to every day, whatever that may look like. But so going to Miss Montana and competing for Miss Montana was a huge step out of my comfort zone. And I knew that I could prepare and prepare and prepare as much as I could, but it was up to those judges at Miss Montana, and it was a subjective decision as to if I was to become Miss Montana. And this is an experience that I had there, but also something that we will all experience in our lives, and especially in STEM, that we can prepare and prepare and prepare, and sometimes it might not be enough. For me, going to Miss Montana, it happened to be enough, and I'm able to have this incredible year of service as Miss Montana. But I know I have had plenty of failure in my life. And I want to talk to you about that today, as to not always seeing that failure as failing, because that's not what it is, but it's a learning experience, and that's something that we have in STEM all the time. I mean, how many times when you are doing a science experiment does it actually work out the first time? Or you're doing a math problem and you get the right answer every single time? I know I sure don't. And I experienced lots of failure especially in college. And I'm not physics brained at all. So I rarely got a physics problem right on my first try, but just had to keep working through that and not letting that failure seem negative, but letting it really kind of fuel a fire within me to achieve more and to really work and to learn and to really dive into STEM, into things that made me uncomfortable. So also another thing that I think made me uncomfortable going into the Miss Montana competition was that I didn't think that I could be a STEM nerd and then also compete at a pageant. But that's another great thing that I found that I want to talk to you about. So STEM is full of endless opportunities. So I'm able to be a STEM advocate as Miss Montana, a beauty queen, and a total science nerd. So if that works out for me, I think that any passion that you have can be integrated into STEM. I know when I first started becoming really interested in science and in chemistry, it was in early high school, so I was around your guys' age. And I just always had people just talking to me about STEM and how important it was. And I was like, hey, I get it, it's important, but also I really like music and I really like fashion and I like social issues. So how does that work? But really, STEM allows for all of that. And that's something that I've really started to learn recently. And that STEM is just not confining, but it's full of endless possibilities. And that we all have opportunities to thrive within STEM and really integrate any of our passions. So if you really like fashion, like me, you can integrate that into STEM. And if you like the arts and music, which are things I also really like, it integrates into STEM, which now some of you may know that there is a movement transitioning from STEM to STEAM. So adding the A in STEM or the arts into STEM. So obviously this is something that's really important to me. But when it first came out, I started thinking about it, and I don't see myself as an artist. I mean, I can barely draw a stick figure. So I was like, well, yeah, okay, so STEM to STEAM, great. But really, when I started thinking about it, I realized how absolutely important this is, that we integrate the A into STEM. And because adding this A is adding creativity and allowing us to really incorporate all of our passions into STEM and just dive into fields that we may not even know about. But I mean, if you want to make purses, but you like coding, then code a website that sells purses. I mean, that was a silly example, but there's so many opportunities out there that allow us to be kind of girly girls, because I know I sure am. Obviously, I'm wearing a crown, but that I'm also able to be a total science nerd and to really appreciate that being nerdy is really cool and almost sexy. So then I also wanted to talk to you about the importance of math in STEM, the importance of that M. So I've always really enjoyed math. My mom is actually a math teacher, but I knew I wasn't going to be going into a math field. I knew I was going to be a biochem major. So I was like, yeah, okay, math's cool, but whatever. But I want to talk to you about how important this math really is. So if you want to go into an actual math profession or a math degree, then that's incredible. But if not, I want you to really start and to appreciate what math does for us. How it teaches us to be analytical and to problem solve. And when you really step back and think about it, it's those skills that we learn in math that help us in all of the STEM fields and help us to be those innovative and creative thinkers and to really think analytically, a skill we learn from math, and to problem solve through all of the STEM fields. So like I said earlier, so STEM for me has just been a big journey of getting comfortable with mistakes and with failure. And so like I sometimes like to call myself a recovering perfectionist. And some of you in this room may also be recovering perfectionists. And I want to challenge you to kind of step away from that and expect excellence, but not perfection, because then that allows us to learn from our mistakes and to learn from failure and just to continue thriving in the STEM fields. So just on a little personal note, it's been absolutely incredible for me being a woman in STEM. And I know I said earlier, it can be scary, but it's also been incredible. It's so empowering every day thinking that I've achieved these things and I'm interested in these fields and just the limitless possibilities that I know are ahead of me and ahead of all of you as women interested in STEM is amazing. So I want to encourage you to dream big dreams and then go out and achieve them, because really anything is possible if you just work for it. I know some things seem crazy, but really, if you just work for it, I mean, perfect example, me becoming Miss Montana was crazy. I mean, I went to Miss America. I would have never imagined that. But I just went out and put my all into it and did it. And now I have this opportunity to be a STEM advocate for young girls, especially in our society, which all of you are also STEM advocates for young girls in our society. Again, thank you for letting me talk to you today. Sorry, I know the video is not ideal, but I want to give you my contact information. So if you have any questions or just want to chat, I love coffee. So I would love to get to know all of you. I live in Helena, and I travel for Miss Montana things different times. But my email is missmontanamao@gmail.com. And then I'm also on like all forms of social media, really easy to find me. Like my Facebook is Miss Montana Lawrence Scofield. You can message me on there. I know it's sort of weird that you don't actually get to meet me, but I promise I'm a very down-to-earth person, and I love talking and getting to know, especially women in STEM. And just, I think it's so important that we all learn from each other. And I think that we just have this special bond as a woman with a passion for STEM. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks again for letting me speak to you. And I hope to hear from some of you in the very near future. Thanks. Bye.